This interview is for information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this Stock Box interview.
Joining us today is Jason Brewer, the Executive Director of Unicorn Mineral Resources, listed on the London Stock Exchange with the ticker UMR. Thank you very much for joining us. Jason, how are you doing?
I'm good, Mark. Good to see you again and pleasure to be on.
Yeah, indeed. Of course, this is the first time we're talking as you in a different role at Unicorn Mineral Resources here. So, could you first of all just explain, how this opportunity came about and why you've taken on this role? And then we can go into the company in a bit more detail.
Sure. Look, Unicorn, as you mentioned there, it's listed on the main board of the London Stock Exchange. It's been listed for barely a year. And just before Christmas, the board approached me and asked if I'd be interested in getting involved and I guess getting a bit of energy, getting a bit of life into the company, because for the first 12 months of its listing, it really wasn't achieving much. And shareholder interest, traction in the share price just wasn't there. And, they'd seen what I've been doing elsewhere. And they were very keen to see if I could help them get value into that company. And, being a standard listed vehicle and with an opportunity to build something again, I jumped at the opportunity. I've got time. We've got a great team here in Nairobi and London, and felt that we could give it justice. So
you mentioned about building something again, and you've got time, have you? You're a very stretched man with everything that's going on with Marula, aren't you?
Yeah, Marula's busy. It's busy as hell. Lots going on, but that team's building fast. It's only last week we announced 3 new appointments, and those are the main appointments. There's plenty others in the background. So, Marula's, you've got a lot of skilled people getting involved there, not just from full-time perspective, but with consultants. So okay. With that, and with all the other commitments that I've made elsewhere, I wouldn't take something on unless I felt that I could do something. And, here I am.
Okay, well, what attracted you to the proposition then? Maybe you can go over a little bit of the history of Unicorn here and then what your plans are for the company.
Sure. Look, as I said, Unicorn listed on the main board of the London Stock Exchange in February 2023. So it's barely been listed a year. It listed on the back of what you refer to as Irish type, carbonate hosted, copper, lead, zinc, and silver project there in the Limerick Basin in Ireland, of course. It's early stage, a great region for zinc deposits and so on, quite an emerging basin, but I guess they just weren't getting the traction. I think that's just recognizing what the market is looking for now in early stage junior mining companies. They want to see companies with assets that can be brought into production relatively quickly. They want to see cash flow. They want to see news flow. So, for me, I saw it as a great platform to build another business and with complementary assets. So looking at those copper, lead, zinc, that iris type mineralization, which is quite prevalent here in Southern Africa, for instance. So, I spoke with the board. They were very keen. They bought into what I had in plan in terms of the growth prospects. We're already reviewing a number of projects, quite advanced in some of them. And we had a board meeting in Dublin just last week. And at that board meeting, I was effectively given a clear mandate to go out and working alongside Dave Blaney, who's our head geologist, our COO there in Ireland, and to basically get projects into the company that can deliver just that: value, cash flow, resources, high-grade resources, and near-term resources. So we're fast moving ahead with that. That's the strategy of the company, for keeping, I guess, true to the nature of its listing, which was that, like I say, that iris type copper, lead, zinc mineralization, and which, like I said, is prevalent not in Namibia, in South Africa, and here in East and Central Africa. So lots of opportunities and ones which we're fast exploring.
So you're going to stick with that copper, lead, zinc theme. Are you going to be doing anything with the current projects in Ireland?
Yeah, look, we are. We've completed a drill program, put in some diamond drill back there in September. We came out with the results September. So that is something where we're still focused on, don't get me wrong. And adjoining our property, there's a TSXV listed company that came out just recently with some quite exciting drill hole results. I think the Canadian market is much more aligned to, I guess, Irish early stage exploration, and they raised a bit of money on the back of that, and they're busy exploring there. But no, we'll obviously put a fair bit of attention there, but I think we'd rather fund that exploration from cash flow generated from assets here.
Okay.
I think, you look at the grade of the projects there in Ireland, on the zinc, on the copper, on the lead, even the silver credits there as well. And you compare that to some of the stuff you see, for instance, in Namibia, and you've got 10 times the grade. So, with that in mind, and we can secure those projects. That's the great thing. I've seen those projects. We've pretty much secured these project opportunities. So It makes sense to put them into Unicorn and to build on the skill sets they've already got. Like I say, you've got a great Joe there, Dave Blaney. He's been doing that style he understands that style of mineralization so well. And his eyes almost popped when he saw some of the projects here, that's for sure.
Okay. Well, you said you're reviewing a number of projects. Can you suggest anything that you're looking at? You say you're sticking with the copper, lead, zinc theme. When can you expect to make an announcement on some of these?
Look, I'm hoping over the course of the next 4 to 6 weeks, we will have honed down. There's 2 key projects which are under consideration at the moment. There's a third where we're just getting a bit of legal due diligence to verify the licensing. That's critical for us, particularly in the jurisdiction we're looking at there. But the other ones, the other 2 are in one jurisdiction in Southern Africa, and where there is, there's, for instance, there's an asset which is on care and maintenance, which has got existing resources, high grade resources, plants and infrastructure already in place. That's an obvious opportunity for us, which we've got to look at. There's another one there, which is cash flow within a 9-month period. It requires investment, which we'd structure as a loan. So there's a number of these projects, and it's prioritizing them because the team up there, we've got to make sure that they're focused. But these projects located predominantly, like I say, there in Southern Africa, do provide us with that ability to kind of deliver on a strategy of early cash flow, high grade resources, and significant upside in terms of expanding the resources and the production profile too.
Okay. And in terms of funding these projects, in terms of getting them into the company first of all, and then of course doing some kind of exploratory work on them, the legacy ones in Ireland, but the new ones as well, how's the company's cash position looking? Look,
we've already, just as I joined the board in this executive capacity, we did a fundraising there. So we've got 642,000 euros. Actually, I remember from the board meeting. So I've got to talk in euros now, given that the company's headquartered there in Ireland. So you've got enough capital there to get going. Don't get me wrong. One of the assets already under consideration comes along with an offtake and a prepayment structure against it. This is obviously the asset which is under care and maintenance at the moment. That may be a bit much to swallow for the company at the moment. Transitioning from an early stage exploration to a mine operator within a relatively short period of time. Let's see. But we'll raise capital as and when is necessary in a very smart and efficient way. Like I said, it's sitting there with over 600,000 euros. Christ, when I got involved in Marula, we barely had 100 grand in the bank, and look where it's at. So it's good to have that cash in the bank, but we've got to use it wisely, smartly, but it does give us that opportunity to secure some pretty good assets, literally in the coming months.
So you're looking effectively to replicate the Marula idea, also the Chuka idea as well. It'd be nice to get an idea of what's happening there. But before I get an update on that, I just want to ask: is Quinton going to be involved in Unicorn QDC?
Look, he's already expressed an interest to get involved.
Okay,
there's no question about that, and he clearly brings a lot of positives. There's no question about that. The capital structure here at Unicorn is pretty tight already. So you've got 34 million shares on issue. So it's a really tight, robust capital structure. And, we're going to keep it that way. So, as and when and if Q Global Commodities get involved with the various skill sets and capital that they bring, then we'll have to look at that. But yes, of course, I'm due to be in South Africa next week, meeting with Quinton, actually having some meetings with project owners, vendors on Unicorn too. So we'll be having a series of those discussions, that's for sure.
Okay, so then a bit on Chuka, if I can, Jason. What's going on with Chuka?
I'm due to look if my nomad is watching, can he please turn away? We've been finalising an acquisition. There's no question. We'll make that very clear. I'm due to fly to another African country next week for meetings with the minister, for possible meetings with the president. So such is the nature of that project. So it's very difficult to talk about such things just given where we're at with that project at the moment.
Sure. Okay.
But for any of those shareholders watching this, it's taken a long time to get to where we're at. We made it very clear from the outset with Chuka that we were looking at a major acquisition, which would trigger any of the class tests, which would require us to recomply and become suspended. So we've had to structure it in such a way to be wary of that and to ensure that those various class tests aren't triggered. And I believe we've done that. That's something which is going through its final checks now. And then we pull the trigger. And, it's something I've been waiting for quite a while. One of our other directors, Mark Nally, who's got a lot of experience in that commodity in that region, is chomping at the bit to get his hands dirty on site, managing exploration, refurbishment work on underground workings, etc. So for Chuka, there's plenty of positive news to come out in the coming weeks, that's for sure.
Okay, well, that perhaps explains this sort of radio silence, but we'll wait for news on that, Jason. Final thought on Unicorn then. In terms of plans and what news flow you could expect to get out over the coming weeks, what can the market look out for? Just to this is very much about an introduction to the company. It's the first time we're hearing about Unicorn, really. So what could whet investors' appetites, do you think?
Look, we'll be moving very quickly to enter into heads of agreement on one, if not two, project opportunities. We'll be referring to perhaps some strategic partners with some of those trading groups that will support us in one of those projects. I think that's the key thing. You'll get a bit of clarity around that strategy. There'll be an updated kind of corporate presentation coming out shortly. Okay. New website just to kind of show the diversification of what we're looking at doing, building upon, like I say, the skill sets of the team in Ireland, and getting them focused here on some projects, like I say, which are 5, 10 times plus the grade and the size of the projects they've got in Ireland. So they're very exciting about the coming weeks, and hopefully with the news releases we put out, investors, our current shareholders, will share that excitement.
Well, thank you very much, Jason, for giving us a bit of an introduction there to Unicorn Mineral Resources there. Another Jason Brewer one to perhaps watch and see what happens. It's just the start of this journey. So thank you for introducing it, and look forward to seeing some more of those fruits.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate the opportunity here.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter, and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stockboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.